I want to say something on the heels of Representative Schlossberg. It seems we're being asked to deal with something, and Whitney here mentioned that we can't put funding into a Title 18 bill. This is a bill defining criminal action. It's a bill defining a criminal act, and so putting funding or other types of things in there, that's a disingenuous argument, a disingenuous reason to vote against this. This is about giving individuals, as the speaker said when he offered his reasons behind putting this bill forward, this is about giving them a chance at life. This is about giving individuals the ability to have a life, however fulfilling that may be for them individually. A lot of the discussion today, sadly, is focused on how it impacts the family and how it impacts people around him and how much it's going to cost us as a society. I think the greater cost that we've not discussed is the cost of not having those individuals in our society. The cost of not giving them the chance to live a life, whether it's a 20-year life or a 50-year life or whatever the case may be. We're not even giving them the chance to have any kind of life. We're making the decision up front that because there's not financial things in place to give them the full quality of life that we think they should have, we're not even going to give them the chance at life at all. This is a public policy decision, there's no doubt in my mind, and we as legislators are charged with the responsibility of putting forward public policy that speaks to a larger cultural issue, a larger cultural statement. This legislation puts out there a message to our medical community. I have 5 children, and I accompanied my wife to as many prenatal appointments as I could during those 5 appointments. 3 of those children were born in Pennsylvania, 2 outside. Every single medical provider, anytime there was any discussion of prenatal testing or things like that, and we've spoken with relatives. I've got several nieces and nephews, and I've spoken to my in-laws and numerous people come in my office, people who were at the rally for this legislation. They all have the same experience. The medical community is nudging people toward abortion for situations not just encompassing Down syndrome, but any other kind of potential genetic flaw, as they want to describe it, any type of potential problem that comes onto the radar of the mother or the physician. The culture in the medical community right now is nudging parents toward abortion. This legislation sends a clear public policy statement to the medical community, a clear change of culture that says we support parents, and we're going to provide them with all the information they need to succeed as parents of a Down syndrome child. This is a change of culture that is necessary. I've heard it within my office. We heard it at the rally. This needs to occur, and we as a legislature are the ones who need to be sending that signal. We're charged with a lot of serious things, but there's nothing that I take so seriously as my job to defend life. I've shared in this committee a number of times before. My daughter, we were in Maryland at the time, my daughter was diagnosed with a heart defect. I'll never, ever, ever forget the statement made by the doctor that when she looked at my wife and said, if we had found this sooner, you would have had additional options. The anger that welled up in my wife and myself at that statement, that we would say, oh, heart defect, okay, we don't want her then. I cannot imagine not having my daughter. She's going to turn 20 in about a month now. 20 years of not having my daughter if we had found out sooner. I dare say that there are abortions that occur because of heart defects or other serious medical conditions that people don't necessarily know the positive outcomes that they can have. Down syndrome, I think, here is the tip of the iceberg. I'm hopeful that we can pass this legislation, and then I'd love to put in other things like heart defects and other things that we are learning that people are having abortions for. I am an absolute yes on this. If I could vote more than one time, I definitely would.